Everybody call the meeting order. If you want to join us in the pledge of allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice. I would ask, this didn't, I'm not here, but last week there, you have a cell phone exchange, there was a lot of cell phones going off last week, so if that be the case, we'd appreciate it. I would. Okay, jumping right in, and I'm kind of telling you how many minutes. Oh, okay. Reports.
I have none.
Commissioners, you got anything in there? Not okay, correspondence?
It's not really correspondence, but I heard from, Alexandra about the letter to the congressional delegation. So I don't know what you guys want me just to format it and sign it. If you don't want to sign it, it needs to go on the agenda.
I'd add it to agenda,
Okay.
format it and add it to an agenda,
Okay.
so it comes out in the agenda, advertised agenda, so
Okay.
if anybody has any questions or anything about it, they'll have an opportunity to comment.
Oh, I have.
Okay. Okay, yep, calendar review.
Tonight at 6 board meeting.
Yeah, and at 6, there's a watershed council forum in Whitehall, which I'll probably be at that instead. It's a board's conference for the same time.
Okay. Tomorrow. Planning board at 7. Thursday. Trico fire at 9. Survey review at 1:30. Maybe mosquito, is there maybe mosquito working or are they just at the same time?
They're just random, you can take mosquito off there.
Can you, since you're on Thursday, can you put CTAC meeting 0800 Thursday, 14?
Okay.
Yeah.
Everyone is Friday. Monday. It's mine. Boulder City Council at 6:30 and Whitehall Town Council at 7.
Any additions or corrections, Commissioner?
You got everything I have, Mr. Chairman.
Good. Good. Okay. All right. Excuse me. All right, Rick, Commissioner reports. Okay, go ahead, Commissioner Rivera, please.
I didn't have much. I spent most of my time. I'm a road supervisor and assistant road supervisor. We met with Great West on the road and went up and looked at several other roads, which just to kind of see where we're going to go with them. We go around, check all of those, and that's what we're doing. So that's
Sir. I'll just go ahead and jump in and I'll give it to you in case I miss something. Basically, all I have was last week, the BRD. The only thing that I think we accomplished with the Forest Service itself is for the local ones, as for the ranger himself. They want it where we're going to collaborate with them more so and tell them more what our needs are in terms of travel management. And then they're going to move it on up the chain. But it's going to begin with us, and especially from a commissioner standpoint, which of all the commissions that are, or commissioners that are involved within 5, 6 counties that are involved. So other than that, that's
Ryan Lay.
Join the meeting.
Ryan?
Ryan.
Oh, Ryan, okay.
Okay, now that's all I have, Mr. Kirsch.
All right, last week I attended the Boulder Transition Advisory Committee, also known as BTAC. Had everybody kind of give their reports. Boulder Chamber of Commerce is busy. Renewal process looking good. 12:30 currently. Got a car show going on. I think that's the same weekend as the fair, I believe. The fair moved back a week this year, didn't they? I think they moved back a week, so be prepared for that. Music festival is gonna be going on in the fall again. We'll report graduation on the 24th, hosting track meets on their nice track. I haven't been over there to check that out, but it's supposed to be pretty nice, huh? That's good. Moving to a Class A school, sounds like the year after next. It's like a 2-year transition. Is that right, Lindsay?
We have to go 4 semesters at the level and then we take breaks here. So we've been at our 4 semesters. We went to MHSA and tried to see if we could stay. We got denied. So we have a grace here and we will go A. If we reject it, we'll go down back to the lower, but we have to once again show 4 semesters at that and then have the grace here.
Okay. So you might be going back
We'll
and
probably go
forth.
yo-yo for a while.
It'd be like saying Regis was moving from B to C and back again.
Back and forth, back and forth, yeah.
We're hoping that they rearrange some of the districts so our travel won't be too far, but there's a possibility we have some trips coming.
Boulder Elementary made an offer for both a new principal and new superintendent. He wasn't sure if that was set in stone yet, so don't have any names yet. Let's see, City of Boulder, they're in their budget season as well. They got some kind of an award for their Christmas parade, getting that set up and how successful that's been. So kudos to Boulder for that. Working on a 4th of July celebration. It's almost like a one-time deal for the 250th. I think it's the 250th celebration for our country. Maybe they'll make it a yearly thing. It's kind of a cool thing they're doing. National Day of Prayer, I think, was last Thursday or Friday, if I remember right. The Lutheran, this is the faith group's report anyway. Lutheran Church down here at the south end of town is putting up a new pavilion building. Jumping down to Southwest Montana Youth Partners, they've got about 24 students, nothing too new out there. They got their second group home. I think they're supposed to be done this fall with that, if I remember right. There's some chairs up here, Barb, if you want to grab.
Okay. Yeah, right.
Elkhorn Community Foundation, they're in the process of giving out grants right now. They had 12 grant applications, but not all were funded. So that's a good thing. They got more applications than they have funding. And they said if they can get up to a certain amount of grant donations, they actually get matched, I think is what they said. So they get up to a certain amount. So they're going to probably advertise that a little bit better next year when they're looking for donations for that. If they can get up to a threshold, I think it's the state version of that will match our grant funding. So that's kind of a cool deal. This morning we met with our insurance, our healthcare insurance provider, Boulder Administration. We're going through our renewal right now for our health insurance, our self-funded health insurance plan. Giving us the different options and what it's going to cost and the risks involved if we do this or do that. Drawer from Boulder Administration does a great job trying to figure out what's the best for the county with the least amount of liabilities and risks. So we're still working through that. We've had 2 meetings with them now, and I think we're pretty set on a provider and a, I don't know what you'd call it, a process or a certain policy or whatever, but we've been doing a self-funded version of our healthcare for almost 6 years now, and we haven't had an increase in our rates since we started that, which is amazing. Because before that, when we were, I think it was a Blue Cross Blue Shield.
It was Straight Farms Trust. It's like that.
Oh, that's right.
What?
For a Mako or whatever, we would have at least a 10% increase every year, if not a 15% increase for the rates on our policy. So being self-funded, we've been able to level that off. We've had a lot of bad years. This was like our first good year where we actually didn't spend all the money in the account. So as we get more of a cushion there, we can adjust our rates a little bit, but we haven't had an increase, which is very amazing for the healthcare industry right After that meeting, we met with the solid waste coordinator, had a solid waste, board meeting. Mike's doing a great job with the solid waste program as always. He gave us his report. No safety, injuries or anything to do with safety, no injuries to report, which is great. That saves our workman's comp rates. So anytime we can get by months, even years without an injury, we're very happy about that. Anything else worth mentioning? The landfill over in East Helena where we dump our waste is actually put out a new rate structure here, which is gonna hurt us because their appliances went up to $25 an appliance. Tires are $50 a tire, and that's trucks and small tires. If you can imagine $50 a tire to dump a tire. Yard waste is $55. I think that's per yard. And then refrigerators or any Freon units went up to $50. So anybody that in the county that would normally go to the solid waste site will now not go there. They'll go to us because we're way cheaper than these rates. And then people from out of county can actually come to ours and pay our rate instead of this rate. But we're going to try to adjust, so even just adjust the out of county rate so we're not getting inundated by all the folks coming over to dump their stuff for a lot cheaper than they can dump here. So that was kind of interesting. And I think that was all we had. We had an elected officials lunch this afternoon and got kind of caught up with the rest of the elected officials. And that brings us up to right now, Mr. Chairman.
And I don't recall, when did we get the new truck? Was that this month?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I think it was this maybe last week or this week.
So I just got a,
Got our new truck that we've had used an old truck ever since inception of our program. I think this is the first new truck we've got. He said there's a couple little snafus with it, but other than that, it's running great. And that'll give us 3 trucks. Actually, last week we broke down the 2 old ones we had. Both of those were down at the same time, which makes it really hard for us to haul garbage, obviously, if we can't move garbage. So now we have 3, 1 brand new one and 2 that are in very good working order. So hopefully won't have any more problems, knock on wood, with being down completely on our solid waste truck. So thanks for reminding me of that detail.
Yeah, right now what I'm gonna do is, because we've got a time sensitive, at 1:45, so I'm gonna hold off for the opportunity for public comment and then get into this one real soon with the DOI task force. So, There with at 1:45. What it'll be is here shortly is update from the DOI task force and decide on the approval of fiscal year 27 plan. So here shortly, I'll ask Barb the writer to open that up for you.
You want me to come up there and sit
You can if you want. If you want to
Yeah.
stand for the-
right here? Wow. Thanks. And I think we got something already that I think I supposed to be in the packet. No, the plan, but the other description of, there was something else like that. I think you've got it right there, Craig. I see you're talking about it. Yeah. It's that. This one for you, Helen. Let's see here. Okay. Everybody got a copy? All right. So I can start with this first, based on what we've talked about previously. You asked me to bring some information, I think,
Correct.
more detail, and that's what I have in this packet. So on the first page is just some additional prevention activities that normally are regular ones that we've done over the years, and I listed some pricing in those. The other 2 that are attached here are ones that I've often wanted to participate in. Well, the one we have the movie and game buckets. Okay, and what's happened in the past, I've relied a lot on resources from Madison County for that and have had that available, and I think that's less likely going to happen. So this is something I would like to continue to have us do in Jefferson County. It's the movie bucket program where we do something, and I'll read it, the little caption at the bottom, that way the audience knows what it's about as well. Jefferson County DUI Task Force will provide 60 family-friendly New Year's Eve movie and game buckets to encourage positive family engagement and substance-free activities during the holiday season. Buckets will include games, snacks, popcorn, activity items, and prevention resources designed to promote healthy family connection and reduce risk factors associated with youth substance misuse. So that's, and then the new one, so this is one we've done before, but we have not funded ourselves for this in the past. And I'm proposing that we would like to continue to do that activity and fund it through our DUI task force, basically. Okay, and then the other one is a teen safe driving rodeo. And we did do something like this years ago, I think a couple of years ago, through the health department. And it was somewhat successful. I think there were some things that happened that were good. And this is just another kind of a building that and developing that even more. So here's a quick narrative about that. The Teen Safe Driving Rodeo is an interactive prevention event focused on safe driving behaviors and the risks of impaired and distracted driving. Approximately 50 youth will participate in hands-on learning activities and receive a roadside safety kit to reinforce preparedness and responsible decision-making. Funding supports outreach, event supplies, food, and safety materials to create an engaging and impactful prevention experience. Esther Lynch, who's sitting in here in the audience right now, she has done this in Madison County, been very successful. And so I think having something like this in Jefferson County would be very, very good for our youth, especially around the driving context that they are all involved in, you know? So those are the activities that I have added that would be the things that would be approaching about the alcohol tax money. And I think that's part of what we're talking about today. It's a carryover from what we did at the last meeting, I believe last Tuesday, and just presenting that and following up with that and requesting that the commissioners, if you all take a look at possibly increasing the amount of the support for prevention in the county. Okay. And that would be increasing the amount of alcohol tax money that would come to the county. And according to the paperwork you got, the other thing that we thought we were going to have to do is really apply for that. And after the research being done and the code that's there that I think you have description of, we do not need to do that. We don't have to apply to be eligible. We are automatically eligible because we're a prevention agency and we do our task forces. And those that have to apply have to be involved with treatment in that realm. So that's the information on that one. So anyway, I will cease talking and see if you have any questions or comments or whatever.
I do. On the second one, what age group are you looking at for up in there on the teen safe? Are we talking kids that are driving?
You drive, yes.
So we're looking at 16 to almost 18. So
Well, and 16, I think they're starting at 14 now. You know, I think they get the preliminary stuff started even at 14. So I think teenagers. What have you done?
It's
Esther?
14 and
14?
up. Yeah, 14 and up.
And
Yeah.
are you looking to sort of model after Esther's done?
Well, definitely, and then
Okay.
make it more whatever
So-
we would focus on differently. at
That's
Jefferson
the reason I
County.
asked it. I'll turn to Esther then. Esther,
Okay.
in that, is this after school activities or is this during school or how does this
This
work
is-
for interaction?
We do it during the summer,
Oh, okay.
and we have a big event for it. Parents come, we ask if parents are there too, and they go through it with the kids. There's been times that the driver's ed have given them credit and they don't have to have like 2 classrooms because of going to the Teen Safe Driving Rodeo. So summer seems to be the best time to do it.
So how does it work? Do they just apply an application?
Yep, they put in an application,
On the
parents
first
release,
50.
so they can do it. There's like 8 different booths that we have there. We have the highway patrol and the sheriff's department. They actually put the kids in the car, show them what it's like to be pulled over, you know, explain to them if you get pulled over, don't do this, all this jumping around and everything, They talk about, we have the EMTs there, and we have, fire department. We had, flight support system. They
Probably
came-
buckle up, see.
Right, we have to
Okay.
buckle up. I have them go through, the brain. I have this great big inflatable brain that you walk through. But they have VRs, which is those games that they have in 3D, and they're on a roller coaster ride, and it stops at different stations of the brain, showing them what happens when you're drinking, the parts of the brain that light up. Then I take them through the brain itself, and I show them what parts of the brain light up when you're driving, so they can correlate the two and realize that it's the same thing. That's why you're affected when you're driving. So, it works out very well, and then we feed them.
That's
Always
been
feed 'em.
productive for you.
Absolutely, each year it's been better. So, yeah.
And I think many of you, if not all of you, have seen the brain, the inflatable brain, because we've had it at various events in Jefferson County as well, so, yeah. Been a really, really abundant tool.
This will be our 4th year that we've done it. So it's something we do every year.
Before I turn to Ginger, I'd ask you, commissioners, you have any questions?
Are you going through this separately, Barb, or?
I will,
Okay,
yes, I will tell you a copy of it for example. Sorry.
I appreciate you getting me these additional prevention activities. That's great. One thing we gotta figure out is how to get you on the list, because all we can do is check off the list, the box on the list saying this much goes to these people. And if you're not on the list, we don't have a checkbox to check, because we send that back to the state, and I believe they send Boyd Andrew a check, they send you Cares a check, I
No.
believe.
The check comes directly to the county,
Okay,
and then the county, you
Right.
guys
then we distribute it.
distribute it. Yeah.
Okay,
And then
So-
as far as being put on the list, when you send in who you're putting, the money for, you add that the Jefferson County, sorry, Madison will work.
Yeah, right.
The Jefferson County DUI task force, and that would be enough for that. You just add it.
okay, we just add it. Okay,
Yeah, it's a
all right.
write-in.
Okay,
It's a write-in, yeah, I like that.
we won't be able to make a decision on that today, because I haven't even got a hold of Boyd Andrew, and we have to have it on the agenda to be able to do that, so.
Sure.
But yeah, thank you for that, Barb.
Ginger, do you have any more clarification on that?
No, that's just what Corey said, as I understood it, is we get the, service provider list, and that's all I know, but it's, the law says that it's for provision of substance misuse, abuse, treatment, and prevention services in the county. So, I mean, I would trust that these ladies know about that, I don't know who we call it, TPHHS, but I know in the past, that's why we didn't have the Jefferson County DUI task force on there, and that's why when View Cares was on our list, we were able to do the 90 and 10%. So I guess we'll just have to do a little bit more research to make sure that if that's what the commission wants to do, then that's okay.
And if for some reason it doesn't work, we could do it through View Cares, and I would work with the DUI task force as far as the money goes, the funds.
Yeah, but the ideal would be a different direction, then there's more flexibility and so on, so, yeah, that's the ideal, and that was.
And with you, Esther, would you retain all that money, or is you gonna have some of it still to hang on to?
No, we would use it
You
100%.
would get it directly?
It would go to View Cares, but I would just
Yeah,
put in that
definitely.
this is what we're doing it for, yeah. And we could make at any time, a report to you what the money's been used for or going to.
Have you talked to, in a sense, View Cares about that? They're good with that?
Yeah, absolutely.
And we're kind of in a transition period, really, with the changes that have happened with prevention services in Jefferson County. And I think we have some really good potential, with Esther working as closely as she wants to and will do, and with our DUI task force comes to the meetings and is getting familiar with the task force as well. So, yeah, so it's real positive, I think. Yeah.
And then, like Commissioner First said, we're gonna have to put you on the agenda on this. So,
Can we help us decide what date that will be? Because some of us I'm gonna be out of town for a bit.
one of the best, get with it, is Helen.
Helen, was that? Okay, all right. No,
We'll have to do it before the
Oh,
I guess that
27th.
report has to be,
Or the 22nd, right?
I think so, it was the end of June.
I think we can do that. Yeah, okay. All right, so
Anything else
then
on
the,
that, or not?
Yeah.
Go ahead on your task force plan.
okay, so if there's any questions on this, one of the things that is really interesting is that I'm doing this earlier than it's due, just because I'm leaving, and I've been working with Erin Ritchie, who's our secretary for the GI task force, and she's gonna make sure this gets in on time, okay, by June 1st, and she'll have the information and so on. One of the things, the fact that, well, it's really hard to get updated information because some of the reports don't come out right away, you know, and the annual ones, you probably experienced that with some other things you deal with too. And so I have really basically used the same data from the previous plan, last year's plan, basically. And as you can see, the plan design changed last year. So this is the second year for this design, and they've simplified it quite a bit, you know. There's still quite a bit of written content about the county itself and the structure. It has the task force members listed, our meetings, and then the budget is toward the end, I believe. So with that, I'll just see if you have some questions or comments that you.
Can I go by next year, not this year so much, or this upcoming, but the year after? It'll be more than 2022. Will it be more like 2024?
Probably, yes, because right now it's like some of those stats on the bill.
All right.
And the thing that I'm hoping that they'll get more stats about are how marijuana fits into the play on DUIs, because that's a real issue, and the combination of alcohol and marijuana seems to be a concern with our law enforcement. And Montana Highway Patrol, they brought that up a number of times.
Any questions, commissioners? Mr. Kirsch?
Nope, I just, would ask if we do approve this, that we take out the county alcohol tax money off the budget part of this, because we don't know that yet. Is that right, Barb? That you had-
Okay.
You added in that.
Well, I
alcohol
did,
tax?
and yes, and I was calculating a little bit higher, on that. I could do that. I'll see if I can have Aaron do that, because,
How much percentage?
because
was that?
what are we getting now per month? I think it's about 900 every quarter, 900 and something dollars. Do you remember, Ginger, by chance?
Yeah, it was 970.
Yeah,
That's
something
what
like
it
that.
went to be fair.
So for the annual, it would be, what, 32 to 4,000, maybe, something like that,
36.
somewhere in that range. And so I did increase it, yes. Being hopeful,
Yeah.
you know, I'm kind of that kind of person.
Sure.
really. I'm kind of
Oh, I understand.
more on the hopeful side, so. Anyway, it doesn't mean we have to, I mean, obviously, we don't spend everything that's in this budget.
Right,
We never have, and, and a lot depends on, our reinstatement fees, because that's what, the bulk of the money comes from. Yeah, it's from the reinstatement fees, so,
so if, I would say that we approve this without that money in the budget portion of this report.
Okay.
And then if you want to put it in after this, we can probably amend this maybe. I don't know if this has got to go to the state or where this goes.
it goes to DOT, and then they have the governor sign.
Okay, all right.
When does it have to be to my part?
By June 1st. Okay, and I'm gonna be out of town until June 5th. So that's why I wanted to get this moved in, so it's not late. I like that.
But this being a plan doesn't mean you can't use extra money. The county's giving you extra money for your.
Yeah,
civil
if
part
for
stuff,
some
so
reason, yeah.
I would say to keep this accurate, let's take the county alcohol tax money off of it, and you can adjust the bottom part of that to match. So you've got a matching number, and then if we give you money later than this, then so be it.
Yeah.
It just won't be in your plan.
Yeah. Okay, I got you. Okay, yeah, I will work with Erin on that, because she's going to finalize this.
Okay.
again.
So what are you wanting us to do? At least finalize? this?
Well,
Or is
we
it
need
your-
your signature. That's what has to happen. So on the second page, there's a place for each of you to sign for the plan and date it. And then it'll get sent to the Department of Transportation.
I agree with Commissioner Hurst, so take off that 8,000, but then put down the actual amount at this point in time, not saying I can't change it down the road.
Right, so
So
we would
mine
be,
is what, 8,000?
yeah,
So it's gonna be 22,000.
yeah, 23,000,
22.
22, okay, yeah.
And I think if we do a motion to
Yeah.
sign this, we can make that part of it.
I agree.
Okay,
You want to put that in, or you want me to just put it in here now? I just wrote it down. I know
okay,
those.
yeah, yes, I will do that, and I'll be visiting with Aaron on all of this.
Okay, but she changed it, but that's what it's gonna be, okay.
Okay,
22,000.
got it. 22,100, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Mine's at 8,000. Any other questions, Commissioner?
Yeah, I don't want to complicate it, but we do have some money that would come from the alcohol tax, because we are really on that yet. Well, okay, but not in the budget. Okay, never mind. I complicated, so I'll back off on that one. Okay,
Yeah, just so the plan's right, and
Yeah.
if we get money in the future, we'll have it, it just won't be.
okay. Mhm.
So I move to approve this plan minus the $8,000 alcohol tax money, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, second. Any discussion, the only thing I would say on the discussion to add to it, it's $22,100 we're looking at for the approval. So to bring the motion, and all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carried.
Thank you very much, Commissioners. Appreciate your time today. Yeah. And so I'll visit with Helen about the time that would work.
Okay,
I
thanks.
know for both Esther and. both of us.
And once you get this changed, get this back to us and we'll sign it. And we did.
Okay, will do. Okay, thanks again.
Thank you, Barb. Appreciate it.
Discuss and decide on subdivision improvement agreement, Pioneer Place Corbin, second be Lindsay or the game.
Good evening. All right, we have a subdivision improvement agreement for Pioneer Place subdivision. Ryan is currently working on his conditions of approval. One of the conditions is his weed plan from the weed board. In the plan, it states that he needs to spray 2 times a spring and a fall spray. In the subdivision improvement agreement, it is him agreeing that he would do this. We do have a bank letter from the bank for the price of the 2 sprays. We do have a deadline of October 15th for these sprays to be completed. If you agree to the subdivision improvements agreement, it will help him move forward with his final plat as he's met all the other conditions that he needs. And this will be recorded with his final plat as well.
Any questions, Commissioners? None, I entertain a motion.
I would make a motion to approve the subdivision improvement agreement for Pioneer Place and Corbin. As far as the weed spraying stone, and the fact that we have the letter from the bank to go in that.
And findings and conditions as such, great.
No. Not in this. No.
Okay.
Just an
Yeah,
agreement.
you trained me. Okay,
I'll second that motion,
Okay.
Mr. Chairman.
any other discussion? If not, all those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. And I apologize, I gotta back up. Sorry, ladies. Opportunity for public comment. This is now the time for anyone that wishes to present anything as such that's not on the agenda that we cannot take any action on. I would open the floor to whomever, but first I would ask you to identify yourself prior to speaking. Is there any public comment? Oh, okay.
I will. I'm Ginger Twins election administrator, and absentee ballots have gone out for the primary election, and they have to be back to my office or a polling place in Jefferson County by 8 p.m. on June 2nd. And if you're not registered to vote, please do that now. And if anybody has any questions, they can email or call my office. It's 225-4020.
Anyone else? Okay, if not, discuss and decide on signing a contract to purchase a Boulder Medical Clinic building. I'm gonna turn this over to Commissioner Kirst, and see pretty much the primary started out with this.
All right, well, it's been a long road to get to here. We've been through meetings and appraisals and inspections and everything else to get this to where we are now. And today's the day that we decide if the commission wants to go ahead and commit to purchasing this building. And that's why we're here today. The agenda item says discuss and decide on signing a contract to purchase the Boulder Medical Clinic building. So I think we've had plenty of public comment and public engagement on this to really not have to discuss a whole lot today. So if there's any questions or comments or anything else today, we'll sure take them. But I think we've kind of beat the dead horse enough on this. So any comments or questions, I guess? I would like to also say thank you to the board, you ladies and the rest of the ladies on the board for taking such good care of the building. And even after we started this process, you were improving the building all along. So that's very, very appreciative of that. New roof and various other things around the building that the county would have had to absorb otherwise. So thank you for doing that. So yeah. You guys have anything else or?
Just
Any comments, Pam?
Today's my half birthday.
I'm grateful for all of the work that's gone into looking at building expansion for the public health department. This has been a request that happened a few years ago, and it's a need that's been on the plate from supervisors prior to me. So I'm grateful for the work that's been done and for all of that outside of the box thinking so that we can find an appropriate, efficient and affordable way to do this. So thank you.
Agreed. And I just want to say thanks to Christina. I know she pushed a lot of this and went to her board over it, and the board did a great job. Christina did a great job. And I think this is a huge step forward for the residents of Jefferson County. So thank you.
we just have to say on behalf of both commissioners, I'm gonna echo what they say because can't say enough. Thank you for doing what you've done.
Now, hopefully we can do our part and make all this happen with the vision everybody has.
So after this vote, I guess the next steps are to just formulate a purchase agreement, a contract to purchase, I guess, and I'll work with our county attorney to put together an agreement that has all the stipulations in it, the price of the purchase and what do you call it, the stipulation that it won't be sold or it has to stay into a health, whatever you guys want to put in that contract as far as, what do we call it? Yeah, covenants or. We put it right on. Yeah, deed restrictions, whatever we need to put in there, we'll put in this contract and have it all black and white so we can both sign on it. And then once that's done, then we'll work on getting the property conveyed. So, but we want to make sure we get everything in there that you guys want to make sure if the county, we aren't all going to be here forever. So what happens in the future that you're protected on that property for the citizens of the community for as long as we're around. So.
Well, and not to beat a dead horse, but we will go over the inspection report. We will.
Okay.
Because our directors and officers insurance has said we need to.
Okay.
And sign off on it. And so is Liberty Mutual, which is the property insurance. Because this will all have to go to them before we cut off our property insurance.
Okay.
And they'll want to know what we've done. And they'll want to know that whatever we've done, it's okay with you and you will accept the rest of the inspection. We just have to.
Yeah, sure.
Both insurance companies, we can't take on the liability, especially for D&O insurance, and have 6 months down the road, something happen that was in this inspection report and somebody comes back and says, we didn't know. So this has to be done. It'll take 10 minutes.
Sure.
But the gutters will be done on June 9th. And then I think we're done.
Okay.
And those are costing $3,500 and they're gonna do it all the way around.
Yes.
So I think we've done, our plumber's probably gonna have to get in there in the next couple of weeks because I told him he has a deadline. So other than that, I think that's my only request, is that we just have to go over it. You have to know what we've done. And then you have to know with the contract, what you're responsible for in our contract with Intermountain Health.
Okay.
And that's not replacing blinds. It's not replacing exam tables, as they've written us a letter and told us we need to do. No, we don't. So that'll have to all be worked out a little bit.
Okay, sounds good. All right, I move to, go ahead and sign contract with the, Elkhorn, is it Elkhorn Community Services?
Elkhorn Mountain Health Services.
Elkhorn Mountain Services to purchase the Boulder Medical Clinic building, Mr. Chairman.
There you go. Second, that. No, I can't. Go ahead. I'll second. Yeah, you can say. Okay. Any other discussion? None of those in favor? Aye.
All right, we're all set. We'll get a contract together that we'll probably have to go back and forth with for a while to get everybody to where it's acceptable, and then we will get it done. And anytime you want to get together on that, Christina, just let me know. And I
Okay.
don't know if you want to sign something that says, hey, Corey, you agree to take on the responsibility of all these liabilities that we didn't fix or you did fix, whatever you need.
You want to have Pat go over it?
If you want to have Pat and I sit in on a meeting, that,
That'd be fine.
yeah,
It'll take 10 minutes,
Okay.
honestly.
sure,
It's no big deal.
okay. Yeah, I'll get with Pat.
Does your DNO carrier want to review any potential contracts?
Yeah, they'll need the potential contract, and I'll just send it to them once we get done.
Once we finish.
Yeah. Just to kind
I
of,
use this term loosely, haggling.
well, but, we're going to, well, I shouldn't say we. My suggestion is that we keep DNO insurance until, the articles of dissolution for the board come up,
You know-
and that'll at least be a year.
Do you know if your DNO coverage is per occurrence or?
Yes, 1 million, 3 million.
Well, is it a
So
per
to speak.
occurrence or claims made?
Oh,
policy?
per claim.
Okay, so that means that, yeah, you guys want to keep it in place because.
Yeah, we're gonna keep our board,
Cancel it, you don't have insurance anymore.
exactly. We're gonna keep our board at least for 12 months, per our accountant.
Okay.
And because we'll have to get rid of the money. You know, we'll have to disperse it, as she says.
A minor.
So, yeah, so, we'll keep the DNO insurance at least through the articles of dissolution.
Anything else? Teresa? Sorry, I meant to ask you, do you have anything you had to ask or anything during public comment? I forgot to ask the folks up there. Nothing?
Nope.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Uh-huh.
What's that? Gotcha.
We don't really have an update for you, Teresa. I think our HR is still working through the numbers on that. And I don't know if you know anything more.
No, that's what I told you yesterday.
Okay, so we're still working through the numbers on that, so we're not ignoring you.
Okay. I'm just stressing, June 6th or June's coming.
Okay,
Okay, thanks, Teresa.
Oh, thank you.
Anyone have anything else? If not, we will be adjourned.
have a good day, Teresa. Thanks, Lou.